Okay. Well, what you could do is do historical study and see what kinds of anomalies have occurred in space and how critical they were. There were several incidents on the Mir space station, for instance, where there was a potential fire. Okay, so fire and safety is very important. One of the oxygen generation systems that the Russians used on space on the Mir space station basically was a combustible mixture that basically gave off oxygen, and it caught fire, and the fire was very severe and almost burned a hole, and could have burned a hole. And so that was one real traumatic experience or emergency. Another was when you're actually docking a vehicle to the Mir space station, it basically got out of control and crashed into part of the space station. So when you're in a fragile pressurized container that's sustaining your atmosphere and your pressure, what we worry about on space station, for instance, is space debris, particles, small particles that are large enough they're traveling at hypervelocity speeds, 7 kilometers a second. They can easily penetrate the outer shell. So you have to be able to detect where the leak is, and we have techniques for doing that. And then you have to be able to determine whether or not the size of that hole is small enough that you could repair it, and how would you repair it, and prevent the entire space station or habitat on the surface of Mars, or if you're on a planet, from totally depressurizing. Another key thing you have to think about, especially on Mars, when you're much further away, and it's very difficult to send a rescue mission to help you, is a lot of the life support systems that you're designing that have to sustain humans on Mars, okay, have to be reliable. If they break down, how easy are they to repair? Because you don't have that many spares. You can't afford to take that many spares. So reliability of the equipment you're designing, if it's vital equipment, has to be a priority also.